A's office.
You guys gonna have a meeting?
Dungeon.
Meeting.
Devin,
Liz, stop hovering and commit.
Steve, Liz, what's all yours?
I was over there and the husband just liked how it cleaned the carpet.
You happen to be there, huh?
Mhm.
That'll work.
We're getting it.
Alan,
Oh,
we'll close it.
payments.
Jeremy Neff, where's he at? Send him a text. Steve, Dale, Derwin, Katie.
Katie, yeah. The fact that it was the water was filthy and they didn't want their baby playing in the nasty floor that smelled like SHIT. Pull the cloths out. Swear to God, that's what they said.
How many people are still at the other office?
Huh?
How many people are still over at the other office?
We told them to come. I don't know. Just the marketing department, I think.
Tom, Destiny, Savannah, what's all yours?
Basically, she had a real severe allergy issue. Her carpet was nasty, and she basically was saying that when she got so sick that she went, had to go back and forth from the hospital and stuff like that. So.
Oh, okay. Well, good. Dale, Jeff, Joe, Bradley, what's all yours?
They have a son with crazy allergies. The wife, the city of Lake Jackson actually uses rainbows to clean. The wife really was. And the bed for their son was nasty.
Wow.
What was it you said?
What closed it was basically yes. No. What closed it was basically he wants to do the work down there, and so he said I gotta have my new son.
Where's Cody?
I just called CJ, told everybody to come.
Okay, what do you guys want to work on?
How to call the manager properly without talking him out of it. Yeah. Don't list the things that why they can't buy it.
Yeah.
Do what?
Getting the right commitments.
That needs to be a one-on-one clinic.
You mean like properly closed without, like the call out of not reiterating all the objections of why they can't do it
In front of the customer.
in front of the customer?
Yeah, just the basic.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
Displaying the dirt, pulling the dirt from the right places.
One thing I need help on is if customers are too talkative, how to not be rude but kind of keep it business oriented.
What are they talking about?
Oh yeah, my son has this. The allergies are just so
You
bad.
never want to shut that down.
Well, they kind of, then they, I don't know, she started with that and then she went on to how her son's on the football team and now he's a puppy boy and how now when he talks to the doctor, they're in their own language. I say throat, he says larynx. Just going on and I don't really know what to do at that
So
point.
what they say at the end?
They just kept talking about what her son's doing now, how he's applying to become a doctor, and they just kept going.
That's that 10% rule. Forget it and move on. Okay, next. You'll never have another one like it. You won't. But if you change your demo for it,
That's what we get.
no, you won't get another one. But it'll change your demo where you don't have the same, you're not building the same value. Okay. I want to work on the close, but I'm trying to figure out how to do it.
Since we're gonna have a lot of new people, hiring a lot of new people, maybe at the most basic thing where they call the team leader.
No, because then the team leader can't do demos. Does that make sense? Name a team leader that can go without any sales and live. You gotta be in a home. And the closers are so screwed up, it'll screw up your demo if you're trying to close in a house. Does that make sense?
Can you get her a chair, sir? Come on in.
See, and that's where the problem lies. Everybody scoot their butts a little bit the other way. Okay, see, here's the deal.
Hey, whose little purse thing is this?
That's yours.
Oh, that
Alan? Alan,
You can pull that off, Dave. You can pull that off.
I can't.
He does.
Okay, here's where you're at. So how did you decide to take care of your rainbow? We just can't do it right now. The answer is, okay, it's not call me. Does that make sense? The next question is, when do you see yourself getting one? "90 days. I've got people calling out that have not even got back to me. Okay, now when they say 90 days, what's the next one?
What's gonna change between now and then?
No, that's not.
I think Bush Lee would really pay for it.
That is not the right one. How would you get it? Does that make sense? Because I've got people calling out, it's now like, okay, these are the questions, whether you get them or I get them, they have to be gotten. But there's gonna be 10 times less pressure if you get them. There's a lot more pressure if I'm getting them. Does that make sense? So when do you see yourself getting one? I'm not gonna be able to do anything for 90 days. Okay, which plan would you go? Now what's your next question? What's gonna change? Make sense? You've gotta have this first. Because you've not got a commitment. What's gonna change? Christmas. Because that's gonna be the objection that you're gonna have to overcome now. 90 days ago, kids are going to school. 90 days before that, we're going on vacation. 90 days before that, it was taxes. Every 90 days or something. And you know what? Usually, all of those objections, you know what the direct correlation is? A shitty demo. There's a chair up there in that front room. But that's not necessarily always true, though.
Not enough.
But see, the thing about it is, that's not necessarily true, too. So if I do everything I'm supposed to, does that make sense? Okay, Cody, this was for you, this meeting. But you missed the first part. This meeting starts at 12:30, and it's a story. So if you missed the first part of the story, how do you know what the rest of the story is? Does that make sense? Because some of you were here, but you showed up late, which is bullshit. Does that make sense? And this is the part of the demo that you got to have down. When do you see yourself getting 190 days? How would you do it? Plan C. Okay, now let me ask you another question. What's the biggest thing that you've got to have in there? The jug. And when would you want to get rid of this? Because what does it do? It's the now factor. Well, when would she like to get it? I don't know. Let me ask her. That's not the close. You literally need to pull out the cheat sheet and every bit of that's in it. I don't know if the jug is in there, but the jug equals now factor. And these are the questions you have to have. Before you can ever close anything, it's like, and if they really haven't said, yes, I want a rainbow, you better ask that question or you're wasting your time closing. You're wasting your time calling me until you get a yes. Let me ask you a stupid question, Mrs. Jones. Do you ever see yourself, family, ever buying one? No. Well, there's something wrong with your demo. Because that doesn't happen very often. Make sense? Or it may be just one of them freaks that don't care. Now, if you get it again, you need to look at your demo. But the thing that you've got to do is, you see yourself getting one. When? 90 days. How would you pay for it? Plan C or D. Which one? It's not C or D, because that's not a commitment. If you plan C, what's going to change? And somewhere in there, you better have the jug. Because how are you going to move it from 90 days to now? Make sense? Huh? No, it's not the claws. It's the jug. It's the jug only. That's the one that's going to move it. That's the only one that's going to move it.
And it can't be the basin.
It can be in the jug and they can move it.
The basin, it's gone. The only place you got results is in a jug. And I'm still not going to use that last closing question on there. It's too soon. When would you like to get rid of this? Oh, I'd like to get rid of that today. But see, it all goes back. Do you have this question in? What'd you think of the rainbow? What would you use it on first?
Why?
And why? If they say the mattress, where are you going to sleep tonight? That's a now question. Oh, I don't know. See the difference? By adding that one question, adding why. This is why they're going to buy. What's the first thing you'd clean? This carpet. Why? I don't want my kids playing on it anymore. How soon would you like to clean? Now. Okay, you still want to get rid of this now for the kids?
Yeah.
Here, you hang on to it. I'm going to put it back in their hand. Because what does it represent now? Because it's been gone. Because I've done the rain jet, I've done the rain mate, I've come back and I've done the 3-week story. But these are all the questions you got to have. When do you see yourself getting it? It's going to be 90 days. What plan? It's going to be plan C. What's going to change? Christmas will be behind us. Because it doesn't matter what this is. If this is 6 months, if it's a year, it doesn't matter. It's the same clothes. It doesn't change. Let's say it's a year. It'd be a year. Oh, okay. But I don't hear that. What plan would you use? I'd use plan C. What's going to change? I'll have some bills paid off. Now, if they say bills paid off, you want to find out what bills. Because, see, the reason you want to find out what bills, because you need to find out how much is going to be in the budget available. The truck's going to be paid off. Oh, okay. When? It's 9 months. Oh, okay. What's your truck paying? 800? Oh, no, it's not that. I always put a crazy number. Because if you look at the truck out front, you have an idea what the payment is on it. Now, if they just went out and bought a brand new truck, it ain't gonna get paid off. They might have an $800 truck payment. But if it's a truck that's 4 or 5 years old, oh, they'll have that paid off. When I say 800, oh, no, it's not that big, it's 5. And now when you pay it off, are you gonna take all of that truck payment and pay your Rainbow off real quick? Well, you know what, I could. It wouldn't take long. You'd have it paid off just like that. Does that make sense? See, but you've got to take them where they see themselves paying it. They've got to see themselves using a Rainbow. That's the process you're taking them through. Don't be in a big damn hurry to call me. Well, I was wondering what kind, they like it, they love to have it, but they just can't do it right now. What can you do for them? Wait a minute. Do they like it? Well, yeah. When do they see themselves getting one? I don't know. Let me ask them. Now, how would they pay for it? I don't know. Let me ask them. That don't work. There's nothing there. Make sense? So when you call out is, they told me they'd absolutely love to have one. Right here? That's all you're repeating. And that's before you've shown the price. They told me the first thing that she would clean is, she'd do the carpet. She says because she don't want her babies playing in that nasty carpet one more day. Repeat exactly what they say. Because you know what they'll do? That's what I said. If it's anything different, it's like, I didn't say that. And you just lost the clothes because you lost control. They've caught you in a lie. So don't be calling up and say they love the carpet and the mattress because that's what it says in the sheet. Does that make sense? You need to repeat what they've said. And they said they'd love to have one, but they can't get it until that truck's paid off. And that's $500 a month. But they said once the truck's paid off, they'd go ahead and do it. Too many bodies that's eating up. I guess we ought to just open that door. It's a lot cooler out there than out that air conditioning. Okay, so here's what we've got. That's not gonna hold it. Okay, so they got your truck. Okay, so let me ask you a question. If there was no down, leave it on. If there was no down payment, because see, is it truth what they're talking about to the truck?
Yeah.
It is?
Wait,
Oh, is it the truth?
that the truck, they got the truck on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the truth?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Well, we don't know, that's what they say.
Oh, really?
That's what they say.
So it's not the truth. Does that make sense? It doesn't change my clothes. I don't care what they've said. So if there was no down payment, because you've got this, and your book is still out like this, with plan C and D on it, right? If there was no payment at all today, when could you make that payment? So here's the point. You have a person that tells you they can't buy it until they get the truck paid off. You think they'd come back and say today? You don't think they would? They never will with you. You can count on it. They never will. Because you will never follow the close the way it's supposed to be done. Because in your mind, what they say is Bible. It's truth. Can't change it. Does that make sense? But when you go to the store, you change your mind 37 times. You go to the store to buy this, and this. and you're gonna pay for it this way, and you change your mind and pay for it that way, and you add this, 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 and this to it. Right? Huh?
That's saying with zero down, right?
If there was no money down, and you've not called me, you're getting commitments before you call me, because there's no pressure. So if there was no money down, when could you see yourself making that payment? And they just told you they couldn't do it for 8 months until that truck's paid off. But does that mean anything? No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean a damn thing. But you've got to follow the close. So when do you see, when could you, if there was no money down, when could you make that payment? Next month? Could you make it the month after? Okay, now do you want me to call the office and get that plan for you? But the payment's going to go up just a little bit because you're not putting that big money down, that major amount down. And it is a simple interest note, so when the truck is paid off, you can just dump it all on there and have it paid off in 5 or 6 months. See how I'm managing their budget? Because I don't want them to all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, I gotta wait till that truck payment. I'd rather lose it right now than lose it when I've got it written up for 2 days later.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Because the buying temperature is the highest it's ever going to be right now. I'm not scared of losing one. But I'd rather lose it right now while I'm in the house than 2 or 3 days from now. Where you got to go back out, pick it up, all that other stuff. Does that make sense? But see, the thing about it doesn't matter what it is. When do you see yourself getting one? Oh, it'd be 90 days. Okay, which plan would you go? Well, happy plan C. Now what's going to change? Christmas. Now let me ask you a question. How soon would you like to get rid of this? After Christmas or before Christmas? You don't want to have a Christmas with this in it, do you? I know it's special because you got last Christmas and the Christmas before in it. But you don't want to add another Christmas to this, do you? Guys, you laugh, but have you ever pulled a cloth? They said we haven't had glitter since last Christmas.
Yes. Yes.
Does that make sense? So what's so bad about me bringing it up?
It's funny though.
It is. They'll laugh. It's like, oh no, you're
What am I
right.
gonna think about it? That's what.
You're right. But see, that jug's got to go back in. I'd like to get rid of that now. So let me ask you a question. If there was no down, when could you make that payment?
I can do that. I can do that next week.
At least 45 days.
Oh, 45, oh, yeah, 45 days, absolutely.
So if there's no money down, your first payment in 45 days. You'd want to get this out today.
Yeah, if we can do that, I'll get it out today.
Mrs. Jones, you with me?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty high, your horse high.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
You've got to get her commitment too.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you a question. You want me to call the office and get you that plan? That's why you're supposed to be calling me. And you repeat everything you've went through to reconfirm what they're doing. You can even come back and reconfirm the jug. He said he does not want to have that condition for Christmas. He wants it out. That's why he's going to have money in 45 days. He said he'd have it next week, but I told him if it'd help him out, we'd go a month. He said, oh, that'd really help him out. So if we can do zero down, his first payment's going to go up a little bit. But see, I'm reconfirming what I've said, so I don't come back over there and go from an $83 payment to a $90 payment. And I lose the deal right there. Well, you told me 83. And we lose 1 or 2 of those every damn week because somebody didn't pay attention to what the hell they were doing. And I know that nobody, there's a lot of people not using the jug. When would you like to get rid of this condition? Because they'll turn around and say, when would you like to get rid of that condition? Or when would you like to get it? No, all of these commitments have to happen. And then you call out. And if somebody says, well, I want to, I'd pay, how would you pay for it? I'd pay cash for it in January. Well, let me ask you a question. How soon would you like to get this condition out? That's the only way you're going to move them to now. You can't take somebody that doesn't want to make payments and wants to pay cash in January unless you've jugged them. Does that make sense? And the other thing that you have to do is, what's going to change? Where are you going to come up with enough cash to pay for it in January with Christmas? You're going to rob a bank? Well, no, I'm not going to rob a bank, but I have a Christmas bonus. Well, let me ask you a question. Once again, would you like to have this condition out before Christmas or after? When your family and friends come over, you want them to look at all these stains in the carpet. See, another thing I always ask, and this is when you start asking. Thanksgiving. You guys celebrate it here or you go out? Does that make sense? You celebrate your Christmas holidays here. It's your now factor. Let me ask you a question. When you invite your whole family over for Thanksgiving, are these stains going to bother you, or are they used to seeing them here? If they came in, they were all gone, would they think they're in the wrong house? I think that's a better idea than having them here. What do you think? It's just like, see, the thing about it is, where did this stain come? Oh, that's from last Christmas. How often do you shampoo the carpet? I do it once a year. Before the holidays or after the holidays. It opens up all the questions to ask those questions. When they say it after the holidays, you guys really big for the holidays? Oh yeah, we have everybody over. Dumbass, you just gave me the clothes. Does that make sense? But see, that's why I do it. You excited that you got family coming over for Thanksgiving? All these stains come from a Christmas or Thanksgiving? Both. All your family comes here for both holidays? Oh yeah, that's why the carpet looks like this. With all the grandkids and the kids that we've got, this is what they do to it every year. Then I come back and talk about shampoo, so you shampoo it before the Christmas, so it's clean for everybody, then you live with the stains for a year. Let me ask you a question. How would you like to have them clean before they get here and never have to see them again? Better idea? So let me ask you a question. When would you like to get rid of this condition? Before Thanksgiving or after? Before Christmas or after? When would you like to get rid of all the stains? Now? So you wouldn't be upset if I put a plan for you together for you to get it now instead of later?
We can do it.
There's different commitments. Even if it's the guy that says, I want to pay cash. Well, how are you going to pay for it? I got a bonus coming in. Well, would you like to have all these stains out before then? Well, yeah. So if we had a plan where you could get it now and pay for it later, would you be interested? Where you pay no interest?
Oh, yeah. That's I don't like
You don't like to pay interest. You don't mind payments, you just like the interest.
that. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, all bullshit aside. What's the latest period of time it's going to take you to come up with the money to pay cash for it? Can you do it in 6 months? 9 months?
Well, yeah, I mean, I have it by Christmas, so yeah, 6 months.
You have a Christmas bonus coming.
Yeah.
So if your first payment was the 10th of January, you could pay it off.
Absolutely. You can do that?
You want me to do that?
Yeah. I can actually pay it off the Christmas bonus.
See, you've got to get them talking. When do you see yourself getting one? When would you like to get rid of this condition? What about the stains? You want rid of them Christmas or after? Do you go into Christmas with them, or you have to shampoo the car? You're going to rent a shampooer anyway. What do you spend? $300? There's your payments between now and Christmas. You're already going to spend it. So let me ask you, if I can get you that deal and get you the shampooer thrown in, have we got a deal?
Yeah. You can do that? Yeah.
We're in?
Yeah.
You're going to put the $300 down you're going to spend on your carpet? This is the same guy telling me that he can't afford anything.
For a
He
year.
can't afford anything because he knows that he's already got it budgeted out $300 to have his carpet cleaned. But you got to go on a fact-finding mission as you go through the presentation. And then you've got to, don't be in a hurry to do it. Pull out your sheet and see which commitments you've not got. Wait a minute. I know there's something I'm missing. Let me figure this out. I'm new at this, so. Did I ask you when you're going to get one?
Yeah.
Did I ask you how you're going to pay with it?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said I was gonna pay cash in, January.
Did I ask you what's stopping you now? What's going to change?
Well, I get a Christmas bonus. Yeah.
Did I ask you if you, the jug, you want this out today?
Yeah.
You do?
I want out today.
Or do you want to wait until Christmas?
No, I want out.
You want to wait till your Christmas bonus comes?
I mean, I don't have to. There's a way that I can get it without waiting. If I can get it before then, yeah, I want it out now.
Well, you hang on to those. So if we had a program that you didn't have to make a payment until January, and you could get it now, you could get rid of that.
Yeah. I do it. Hey, we got a deal, man.
But see, you've got to ask the questions. Does that make sense? You've got to get all those commitments on that piece of paper. If you have to pull that piece of paper out to make sure that you've got everyone that you're supposed to, get the piece of paper out. Because you're going to take them through a process of a close. That's all you've got to do. Because see, if I get them on the telephone, what am I going to do? The same damn thing. Hi, Mrs. Jones, how you doing? Was Liz nice to you? She was? Did she find any filth in your house? Oh, yeah. Every room she went into, was there a lot of it? There was? You want it in the house or do you want it out? Well, I want it out. I'm going to do the same thing you have to do. The only difference is I've got about 30 seconds to ask all those questions, and I don't have any idea what the hell you've done. I don't know if you've done a range head. I don't know if you've taken stains out. I don't know if you followed my program or my demo, or if you've got one that you've made up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So all I can assume is you followed the demo I taught you. You got most of it in, so I'm going to try to close the same way I closed my deal. Mrs. Jones, let me ask you a question. Was that jug dirty? Oh, it was nasty. You realize if you don't buy a rainbow, that's what you're going to live in the rest of your life? Because I don't know if you've said that. I don't know if you put that in your demo. So if I piss your customer off, I'm going to tell you I'm sorry already because you didn't do your damn job. Because I wouldn't be asking that question if you did your job. Because you'd come back and tell me that that's exactly what they said. Make sense? You really don't want to live in it the rest of your life? Okay, let me ask you a question. When do you see yourself getting one? And I may tell her, well, I don't believe you. And don't ask me why I would say that. There's something I heard that's what my brain said. She's lying to you. You know, I really don't believe it. Yeah, why would you say that? I just don't think you'd do it. That's a takeaway close.
You can
Now you're approved.
you can literally tell people that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We hear the same lies for 30 years, every day, all day. We think we're gonna be okay with it.
Sometimes I
We
hear
got
it
your
in my head,
back.
but I just want to.
I mean, you get one shot.
You do. You have one shot. But you guys have got to
to.
give me all the information. Because I'm going to tell you what, I am not going to be nice. I'm going to go after the damn sale. Because if it's there, I'm going to get it. Because you'll be whining for weeks that you didn't get it. Shit, you'll be talking about that one for a month that you didn't get it. Which makes no damn sense to me. Hell, you didn't get it. Move on. Okay, next. Make sense? Okay, Mrs. Jones, I got a dumb question for you. Okay, what is it? What do I got to do to earn your business tonight? Because I got a zero down and you wouldn't have a payment due for 90 days. Christmas is already come and gone and you still living in that condition.
I'm sorry. I'm just
So what do you want to do? I'm going to ask. Well, he's kind of pushy.
Yep. I'm okay with it.
I will be a little.
We can ask
if you do your
Well,
job, he
you've done
doesn't
the
have to be
demo, you
pushy.
can ask
That's it.
anything you feel comfortable asking.
Right.
If you got that commitment, Mrs. Jones, what do you think of the rainbow? I absolutely love it. If you had one, what would you use it on first? Man, I'd get this carpet clean. I don't blame you, it looks like hell. You're right, it does. Right? You can say that. In half the demos you do, put a smile on your face and say it. What are they gonna do?
No, it's not.
They're gonna be surprised that you said it, but they're gonna agree with you. I'm not lying. But again, then when I come back and I say, okay, now, what do you spend a year for cleaning your carpet? See, I found it that one day. Now when I get to the carpet, you said you clean your carpet twice a year? When do you do it? Before the holidays or after? You gotta get the holidays in there now. It's holiday closing time. Or it's gonna be holiday as an objection time. And you
don't bring it
don't
up
wanna
to him,
get
they will.
sick and tired of hearing, I can't buy because of Christmas. I can't buy because of this. Grandkids won't have a Christmas if I bought it, if I had a clean house. Lady, you're full of shit.
Tried it last night.
Huh?
I tried it last night. Still bad.
But you gotta get the commitments. Well, you know that if you don't buy it today, you'll never buy one. And you'll live in this condition the rest of your life. Is that what you want for your grandbabies? Huh?
You say what's up the judge? Like, what was it?
Well, why the hell do you think we put it there? For our health?
Just, like, after they read it, I just.
I say it.
Isn't it the truth? Why,
They
you're
got
not
slaughtered or
lying.
something.
Don't you, at the $100 bill, there's two
Yeah.
houses?
Like it did, yeah.
This poor family, they're gonna live in this condition the rest of their lives. Because they clean with what you clean with. This is what the rest of their life's gonna look like. This lady here's got a rainbow. This is what the rest of their life's gonna be. Which condition would you want? You want a rainbow house? Well, guess what? It's $100 a month more. So what you're telling me is you'd pay $100 a month more to get this condition out of the house and get this one in the house? How much of that are you doing right here? So why would it be a problem if you come back and reminded them? So did you forget that if you don't buy, that's what you're gonna live in the rest of your life? Now, if you're okay with that, that's okay with me, because I don't have to live here.
Yeah. Okay, I see.
But see, if you set it up, it's open game. But then you've got to get all the questions and all the answers. That doesn't mean when you come, well, what kind of deal can you cut? We don't cut deals.
The deal is they live in Philly, they get a rainbow.
When do you see yourself getting one? 90 days. What's going to change? What plan would you be? Plan C. What's going to change? I want to get Christmas done and over. And you know what I would say? So you're going to tell me that you'll be able to make a down payment on the 12th of the month of January? Yeah. What are you going to do? Get money for Christmas? Probably. Who gives you money for Christmas? My mom does every year. How much does she normally give you? Oh, I usually get a couple thousand. Let me ask you a question. Would you use that to pay it off? Probably half of it. But another dumb question. When would you like to get this condition out? You want to go into Christmas with it here, or would you like to have it out? How soon would you like to get rid of this? You want to clean Christmas. You want to clean Thanksgiving. You don't want your family and friends to come over and see what you're living in, do you? If I left this jar on it, would you leave it here until Thanksgiving? Would you put it on the Christmas table so everybody can share how filthy your house is? You'd look embarrassing, wouldn't it? Well, I'm going to send a picture to everybody you know. They've already signed up on Facebook. I'm going to post it.
You laugh, but we'll do stuff like that, because we got that
They
report.
don't know any different.
Right.
They know I'm happy. You really wouldn't do that, no, but you need to get it out. Yeah, you're right. So when could you afford, if there was no down payment, when could you afford that payment? And if you do it that way, 9 times out of 10, they'll say now. Because when they say yes to a payment, that's what's in their pocket. That's what they can afford. It's there now. Because they really don't know how much more is going to be there when? After Christmas. Whether they buy anything now, the kids are still going to get the same amount. Make sense? Okay, real quick. What'd you get out of the meeting that'll help you the most?
Make sure everything's there in the closing.
Don't leave stuff out. Because you don't know which one that's going to make a difference.